the CMJ stories. So I'm here at Atwater Crossing, and if you're a regular viewer, you'll know that sometimes there's a train, so we'll just allow the train to go by. But it's very exciting. Today is my first interview with an ARTmageddon artist, two actually, and they are Sally and AR, or Anne, from the new short fiction series at the Federal Bar. So Sally, can you start and just tell us how the new short fiction series came to be?
Well, truthfully, the new short fiction series came to be in the mid-90s when, as an actor, I was tired of telling friends, I'm in a play, it's really bad, don't come. And I had worked in 1990 for the LA Olympic Arts Festival with a writer friend of mine. We did her play, and she's very good. I looked her up and I said, hey, Kimberly, do you have any new plays or anything you've been working on? She said, no, but I've been writing short stories. I said, why don't you send them over? Let me see if I can do something. And it occurred to me to present them in a performance-style format. You know, at the time, there was really no formal label spoken word. So we put these on in a very, very small theater called the Actors Workout Theater, and I mentioned that because the director of the theater is in this cast that we're going to be doing for Armageddon, so it's very full circle. Anyway, we got very lucky. In this tiny theater, we were so sold out that people were sitting on the stage with us. And Los Angeles Magazine at the time was doing an article on Soho NoHo, wrote us 2 really good paragraphs. Great. And things just evolved from there, and here we are 16 years later, bringing short fiction and spoken word by wonderful West Coast writers. All the stories are new, and it's a blast, and we're at the Federal Bar eating, drinking, and being literate.
I love that, eat, drink, and be literate. It's so great, and I always adore when you can pair beer with anything, as you can probably tell from the Atwater Crossing selection.
You should try the beer flight over there. It's really very good.
Definitely. And so, can you tell us, Anne, from a writer's point of view, what is it, how did you get involved, and what's the process like?
Well, quite a long time ago, a friend of mine told me about this series. I had just come back to Los Angeles from New York, and she said there's this wonderful series run by Sally Shore called the New Short Fiction Series. I've read some of your stories. I'd like to show them to her. So she's an actress, so she showed them to her, and then Sally called me up and said, yes, we want to put on your stories. And it was this wonderful experience of hearing, I mean, when you write stories, you hear your characters in your head, but then when you hear actors interpret your stories, it's this amazing experience, and I know many writers have done this or been involved in this, and it really does change how you see what you're doing, and it's just a wonderful experience. So I've known her for a number of years since then.
I always, not just for the beer, but I always love it when you bring art to people and kind of catch them where they like to hang out. So what's it been like performing for just the people at the Federal Bar?
It's been a wonderful situation because they're so well situated. They are literally directly across the street from the Red Line station, the North Hollywood Red Line station. So we get people coming in on the subway. We get people taking the Orange Line, which terminates there. And I'm finding that because it's so accessible to be there, aside from the fact that you can eat and drink, people come back because it becomes a really holistic evening of entertainment. The program combines spoken word, literary, We have music, sometimes live, sometimes recorded, and beer flights. How can you beat that? It's really terrific to be there because it's the whole package.
Literature where it belongs, in a bar.
Yes. And so you're part of ARTmageddon, which is very exciting, and I will put the link right here for how you can find out more about ARTmageddon. But that's September 29th and 30th during CARmageddon too. And so what will people see if they take the red line or walk from NoHo to the Federal Bar that day?
Well, on that day, and we're going to be up on the 30th only, there's a lot going on in the street. In the Federal Bar upstairs at 7 o'clock, we'll be up at 6. We'll be treated to stories by 3 of the new short fiction series alums, including Anne. And we did a selection of stories that kind of explore what it's like to be in LA with or without a car. I know that not all the programs for ARTmageddon are thematic, but we thought, what the heck, this will be fun. Then at 7 o'clock upstairs, I believe it's Irene Langer, who has a show. She's a Broadway singer. And then 9 o'clock downstairs, back in the lounge, after we're done, there will be jazz music. And that trio plays there every Sunday, and they're quite fabulous. So that's just one segment of NoHo. There's a lot of terrific stuff going up and down the street. So you could come at 6 o'clock, see us, take a walk down the street, check out what's going on in some of the galleries, and then come back at 9 and have a cocktail and listen to some awesome jazz. It's great. It's great that it's so accessible that you don't need a car to come and enjoy all this great stuff that's there.
And what have you found? I know, Anne, you said that it's fun to hear your words out loud when they're supposed to be read. Is there something specific you found from hearing it, or something you're specifically looking forward to with your piece this?
Well, this time I wrote several. This is done as just a play, a spoken word sort of play, and it's 2 drones lost over Mulholland Bridge. So they are unmanned drones. However, one's a boy drone and one's a girl drone. So there's a tiny bit of flirting. But then their controller, who is on the ground, obviously, in a very dark room, is looking for them. Meanwhile, they're looking for directions, so they tap into the nav in the lone car on the concrete river, number 405. But they are definitely lost. I think what I'm looking for in this, well, since it's a piece for a number of different voices, I'm very curious to hear all the voices, because what does a drone sound like? I'm not totally clear on that. I mean, drones are big business now, and sadly, you know, there has been talk of having drones over civilian areas, so that this is where this idea grew from, you know. But what do drones think? Can they think? I mean, it's a little Blade Runner-y. So I'm looking to hear, and Sally happens to be performing my piece, and she does voices fantastically well. She once did 12 bathtub toys, all different voices. Okay, so who knows what will happen with the drones?
And Sally, what does a drone sound like?
Well, we're still exploring that. It's funny. I steal a lot. Especially when I'm trying to find a character voice. I steal from movies, TV, my family, all the time. You know, I'm sort of using. I've got a little mental homage to WALL-E going on in my head, so I think it's coming from that zone somewhere. But the story is great because there's some rap inside of it, and there's the controller who's clearly a human, and so we'll see. You have to come and see what we end up doing.
I'm really curious.
Great, and so this is September 30th at the Federal Bar, and we'll have all the information below this video, but can you just let people know where they can find you online?
Sure. We are at newshortfictionseries.com. That's newshortfictionseries.com. Or you can link to us through thefederalbar.com and also the Armageddon website. And so the showtime tickets are all available there, and there are discounts for folks who either use the Armageddon promo code, which is on the Armageddon site, and experience LA, or if you show up and there's still seating available and you show your metro ticket or your bus pass or rail stub, you can get in for half price.
Thank you very much. And again, all that information will be below, and it's ARTmageddonLA.com, newshortfictionseries.com, and please do check it out. If you go to this on the 30th, you still have the whole weekend before that, and there you can see things on the map that are actually within walking distance of the Federal Bar. So please join us again tonight at 7 for any artists involved, or if you just want to find out more about outreach. Diana and Fee and I are going to go through outreach possibilities for people working on ARTmageddon, and that will be streaming live at 7. And I want to just thank Anne again, and please do go see the new short fiction series on the 30th. Have a wonderful day and share this